Hey guys, I think this is a good opportunity for us to take an in-depth look at MIDI clips. We've already talked about audio clips, and if you remember with audio clips we have the show hide launch, the show hide sample box, and the show hide envelopes. Well, it's very similar in MIDI clips, like this MIDI clip here, except instead of the sample box we have a notes box. And so let's talk about the notes box. I'm gonna hide the envelopes and launch box. We're just going to focus on talking about the notes. You see the clip box is exactly the same. We can deactivate the clip, change the color, rename it, hello, and that shows up here. And we can change the color of it, same signature, and groove we'll talk about later. So with the notes box, you'll see that it shows the range of notes from C to F. So C is the lowest in this case, and F is the highest. And when we select notes, we can click on the piano roll here to select all the C notes, C1 notes. You can even select and drag to select all of these, and then we can do things with them like click delete if we want to, but we won't do that. So when we click on these, it shows the notes that are selected, C1 in this case, C sharp is saying there. Below that we have :2 and *2, and if we open up the info view you'll see what they mean. So play at double tempo and play at half tempo. So we've got these C sharp notes selected. You can see the length of them there. If I click on :2, which plays at double tempo, it's actually doubled the tempo of these notes. You can see they've halved in length. And this one was over here at the start of the second bar, but now it's halfway through the first. We can click on *2 to halve the tempo. And then we can reverse these notes if we want to. So let's find a good example. If I select this range of notes here and click reverse, you can see it's reversed those in the arrangement now. Let's see what that sounds like. Let's reverse them back to how they were. Okay, cool. So let's duplicate that. And I quite like that musical idea. So this is a great way to discover new arrangements and new melodies. Select that region, click on reverse. Okay, cool. So we've got that. Reverse. We've also got inverse. So let's see what happens when we click inverse. I'm going to select this range of notes here, and when we click on inverse, it basically swaps those around. We can inverse again. And this is working with notes that are assigned to samples within our drum rack. If we were working with the bass line, for example, then you'll see we have notes in a piano roll in our chromatic scale. So what we can do there is, if I was to select this range of notes here, you'll see that we have G sharps, we have A sharps, we have C's and C sharps. And if I click on inverse, it basically flips them upside down. And reverse. So we can inverse and reverse. We can click on legato, and you can see that legato has extended the length of these notes until the start point of the very next note. So that's a very handy thing. And we can duplicate the loop. So did you see there? Let me just click on undo. This is the loop. We can duplicate it. So it's a time-saving feature if you want to duplicate something. Another alternative way is to select what you don't want, delete that, then select what you want to duplicate and press Command D. But an easier way is just to duplicate the loop there. So that's a really handy feature. Below there we have the MIDI bank select for program change. So MIDI clips in live can send MIDI bank or program change messages to external synths and to other devices, and you can drag this field or type to select a bank. If you click and drag up, you'll see that we have banks all the way up to 128. And I'm not actually using any external synthesizers, so I don't use this feature myself. I like to keep all of my soft synths inside the computer, and I just find it easier to work like that. But if you want to use this feature, you can read up on it in the Ableton Live manual and get a better idea of how it works. After that, we have the start point. So right now the start point is 111, 1 bar, 1 beat, and 1/16. But if you want to set this, you can press play. Let's see, where are we? So that's set that to the second bar. If we change the global quantization to, say, 1/4 of a bar, then we can set the start point there. And now it's always going to play from this start point. We can also set the end point in a similar fashion. And then you can activate and deactivate loop and set the position and the length of the loop there. So pretty basic stuff there, but what's really cool is the reverse, inverse, and legato and duplicate region buttons, as well as play at double time and play at half tempo. So let's see what we can create here. Let's play this bass line. Okay, so let's see what we can create with this. I'm going to select these notes here, and I'm going to click on play at double time. Now I'm going to click on, oops, not duplicate loop. I'm going to click on reverse, and then I'm going to duplicate these, Command D. Let's select them and click on inverse. And let's select this region here and click on reverse. And inverse. Okay, so you can see you can have quite a lot of fun with this, and it's a great way to come up with new musical ideas that probably wouldn't come to you if you were just trying to think of new melodies yourself. And happy accidents are the key to success with writing great music, in my opinion. A couple of other things I want to show you in MIDI clips is fold. When fold is clicked, you only see the keys that contain MIDI notes. Click on fold to expand the piano roll, and you can zoom in there. If we are, if we're zoomed in like this, we can just double click up here in the magnifying glass, and that will show us the entirety of the clip's duration. And likewise, we can double click here to expand everything, so we're only seeing the range of notes from the highest to the lowest. So this can help to see things more easily. Double click, there we go. Also, you can change the velocity of notes here. And if you have the Q button activated, you can hear the difference it's making. But we're not hearing anything because the velocity sensitivity is at 0. So I'm just going to boost that to 100 and copy to all the siblings. Now you'll hear the difference. Notice that the note itself changes to a darker shade of red as the velocity increases, and it becomes a lighter shade of pink as the velocity decreases. So that's pretty handy. We can also change the velocity of a note by clicking on Command over a note, and the cursor changes shape, and now we can click and drag. So you can see how using velocity can add a lot more life and variation to the notes. And you may think there's a bit too much variation there. So what you can do is bring down the level here, the velocity sensitivity, right click on it and go copy value to siblings. And now it will be less extreme. Cool. So that's an overview of MIDI clips, and I'll see you in the next video.